It's Montreal versus Toronto, live from Stade Saputo on TSN, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's also on the radio with this man right here, Dan Dunleavy, on Sportsnet, The Fan 590.
You're very fluent with that already.
I'm getting much better at it.
You said stud, but you meant stadium.
No, Stade Saputo. Okay. Stadium, definitely stadium. All right, so Dan.
Yes.
Looking at Montreal, the opposition, there's one thing that they did against Houston in that 4-2 win over the weekend that sort of gave me fits. It was that second goal that came in from Justin Mapp across from the corner flag. Yep. And Davy Arnaud headed it clear inside the box into the back of the net. It's the kind of goal that Toronto's been giving up a little bit lately, hasn't it?
Well, and a lot of teams, as Chris McQuaid, our producer and head honcho here next to us, pointed out to me, Montreal's been scoring first pretty much every game save for one this year. And that type of goal, you're right, is one that Toronto's been susceptible to all season long, and they'll have to be careful of that. The thing that I liked about Montreal in that game against Houston is that they really used their width well, and then when they got the ball to their inside players in the midfield, they distributed very quickly, and they found some holes behind that Houston defense. The other character thing you noticed about Montreal in that game, and I know you watched it, is the fact that they had a lead, Houston rallied, and then Montreal took control of the game again, and against a very good team, as Toronto fans saw when Houston came to BMO Field. So the Impact, although they don't have any more than 2 wins in their last 5 games, at times can be a tough team to figure out, but what we do know is they can put the ball in the net.
And speaking of putting the ball in the net, they will be introducing Marco Di Vaio, the first designated player in club history, they say, on Wednesday against Toronto. Head coach Jesse Marsh really putting his team together right now, isn't he?
Well, he certainly is, and that's the job of this young franchise, is to slowly piece their team together with designated players that they find that they think can help the club. And he's certainly an exciting player with his experience overseas, and certainly having played for teams like Juventus, you're going to see someone who's got some flash to his game. So interesting to see if and when he gets into the match. Sometimes coaches will put that out there just to put the fear in other teams too, that say he's here and he's ready to go, but we'll have to wait and find out on Wednesday night.
And quickly highlight a couple of other players that should prove very dangerous for Toronto.
Well, I mentioned the infield. I like the touches that Felipe and Bernier have. They're very quick, and they work well together, and they work well with their teammates. And then you have the veterans of Mapp and Arnaud, and they just know where to be on the pitch, and they can settle a club down too. So as again I mentioned, Montreal seems to be a little bit inconsistent as far as finishing off games. Toronto fans know all about that here with TFC, but one thing they can do is when they go forward pretty quickly as a group, and that comes down to experience and youthful enthusiasm, and they seem to have that.
So it's the fourth of 5 matchups against Montreal on Wednesday night, and we'll have it for you on TSN as well as Sportsnet Radio Fan 590 with Dan Dunleavy. On Twitter, use hashtag TFC Live to join the conversation. For Asif Hossain Dan Dunleavy, we'll see you soon.